Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Toolaholics Unanimous. I am the lead tool addict. My name is Robert, better known as SoAlz. Tools with Souls is the channel, and you're in the right place. So, I kind of drew inspiration for this evening from a couple of events. First of all, we all know what's going on with Cooch and his nightmare. He may join us a little bit later, but as of right now, he isn't here. But we've seen. What's up, Cody Brown? How you doing? Big DeWalt fan, Cody Brown. So we have seen the last 6-9 months or whatever. What's up, MTech9? Joshua Wilson, Richard Hosey, Robert Walton, B-Dub was here earlier. Anyway, over the last 6 to 8 months, we have seen Cooch go through just one remodel process after another on his house. Well, this week I'm walking through my dining room, and I have a bad habit. I will actually reach up and slap I've got an archway separating the dining room from the living room. And when I did that, my hand went into the wall. I hit a little too hard. So I'm like, got to repair that. I got to patch it. So what's up, Mr. Harvey? How you doing? Anyway, so as I'm getting ready to patch it, I'm taking away, it's all horsehair plaster because that's how old that part of the house is. I'm tearing it away, and I'm noticing there's some damage. It's actually rotted. Like I could put my finger through the wood on the other side. Termite damage. So something that's going to be a quick and simple repair. Now I'm replacing an entire wall in the house, which it's actually not a major repair. I know everybody thinks it's going to be a major repair, and it is a load-bearing wall, which is all that much worse. But it's not going to be that bad because, one, I know what I'm doing. I have a lot of experience, very, very good with doing stuff like that. So I'm going to be building some A-frames with boards up at the roof. That's going to take the weight off of the structure that's there. And I'm going to do that on both sides of the wall. And then I'm going to tear out the wall. And when I'm done, it'll be better and more solid than ever before. So those two things, what's going on with Cooch and then what's going on now with my house, I decided to do a complete renovation on my house. In a week. What's up, your boy Ram? Little repairs turn into a day or two project. Yeah. Well, hello, Lee Monson. How's it been? Glad to have you here. So I actually went out and I bought, because Lord knows you don't want to do this stuff without the right tools. So I bought a little sprayer that I'm going to be using to paint the outside of the house. I went out and spent probably $600 or $700 in new lumber, because I decided while I'm at it, I'm going to redo the deck. If I'm going to paint the outside of the house, I'm going to redo the deck and replace that wall, and I'm going to paint the entire house, inside of the house, everything. And I'm giving myself 1 week to do it all. Today was the start of it. So the first part of it was tearing out the old deck that was out front. And I do that, and there had been we had concrete pillars that had come up, and I think nothing of it. I go to tear apart the old deck. It was starting to look ratty anyway. Not bad, but, not the best. So I start taking the old deck around away to find out that they had the original deck, which I did not know, was a concrete kind of concrete form under there that had broken and collapsed in onto the side of the house. So naturally, when anything like that happens, I have a full basement. It's going to start pushing on the house, and you're going to end up having more repairs. So thank God, caught it where it hasn't done any damage, but we're going to get it taken care of before it does anything. And SoAlz bought 3 2x4s for $500. No, I have a truckload. I actually got a small truckload of wood out there. I want to say 20 2x4x12s. I bought I can't even tell you how many 2x10s. It's enough to do everything. I got enough wood to do everything. It actually took the driver 2 trips to get it all. So I go just a little bit over the top with this stuff, but I figure I can always use the rest of the wood for whatever I don't use for testing. I know I've got at least 8 2x4 16s out there. A small truckload of wood. Is that like 7 guys? Well, the most you've ever handled, Panther, was 5 at a time. So I'm going to acquiesce to your experience here and let you figure it out. BW Electronics in the house. What's up, B-Dub? I just finished painting half my rooms in a house with a roller. How jealous are you that I got the painter? And I've got a respirator. It'll be all good. Wood of gold? No. There you go. $42. Whew. But anyway, it got me to thinking as I was doing this and getting ready to do all this stuff. What are your stories? When was the last time you guys decided to do a simple repair or whatever, and it turned into a major project? And me, I've got 3 of them going on, and probably 4 because I'm betting I've got enough wood to replace the deck on the back of the house as well. And that's something I'll probably end up doing just because I've got the time. But it's good. You retired 3 weeks. Your retired 3 weeks is electable. Yes. I think this is retirement number. I've actually been retired 5 times. I'm not very good at it. I don't stick to it. But this is, since I started YouTube, the second retirement since I started YouTube. And it's not going to last long. I'm going back to work. Wood of gold. I wish I could show you guys, but just how much wood I got out there. It's ridiculous. So have you guys noticed that when you do a little thing, one becomes another and then another and then another and another? Like you start out with going, I'm just going to patch this or I'm just going to do that. And then the next thing you know, you're thousands of dollars into a major remodel. I'm probably going to replace the kitchen cabinets and do all the flooring and stuff while I'm here. But that's going to be like another week-long project. I'm not going to do that right away. I walked out of the house 2 years ago and I hit the front door. I look up at the drywall below the tub on the second floor, ended up cutting it out, gutting the entire bathroom and starting over. And isn't that always the way though? So the nightmares that you get when you're doing this, like I didn't know I had termites in the house. I thought nothing of it until I put my hand through a wall. I got to replace the whole wall. It's going to be fun. Wanting a new toilet turned into making a tub to a walk-in shower. Oh, that is a big project because it's all the tile work, and I don't know if they still hot tar everything or like what the newest stuff is. I know they have some kind of bladder they put down now. It's kind of weird. Tub, toilet, vanity, drywall, and all new plumbing, framing, whole nine. Yeah. Now that sounds about right. That's the way it goes. So I don't know if you guys caught the thumbnail on tonight's video. It's again AI generated, but it was a dude just looking at a renovation nightmare. That's exactly what I put in there, and that's what it spit out. And I thought it looked great. AI certainly takes the entire YouTube thumbnail thing to the next level, makes it so much easier, which I appreciate. I need it because I'm a simple guy. When is anything simple in home repair? Tactics is the perfect example of it. Exactly. The dude started replacing ductwork and drywall and tearing everything out of his house. It's been like 8 months of watching him do that. It's kind of fun to watch somebody else go through it until you go through it. And then you're like, I probably shouldn't have made fun of him so much, but I'm still going to make fun of him. I pulled up a single floor piece for a crack. Underneath there was water, 8 sheets of drywall, and repiping the entire water system, hence the painting of half the house. Oh, God bless you. God bless you. I'm going to move the door 6 inches to the right while I'm at it. No, the door's fine. Actually, no, the door's fine. I'm just thinking I'm going to eventually replace the door. How is my brother from another otter? I'm doing great tonight, Rodney. I appreciate you being here as always. No, this is just kind of like, I'm going through it. And I was thinking like, last week I replaced the header on my garage door entryway. Actually did it better than the guy I paid 6 or 7 years ago to come out and do it. I sealed it. He didn't. I do have to paint it, which is why I'm painting the whole house. Because if you're going to paint one thing, might as well go all the way, right? So that I bit off a little bit. The timetable is kind of condensed, but it's all the time I've got left. So that's what it's going to end up being. I typically I can do each project in about a day. So giving room for error, which there is going to be error. No one does it perfectly, regardless of what they tell you. Each project will end up taking about a day. It's going to give me 3 days of actual physical labor where I'm doing it, 6 to 8 hours in a day. Two more days until your trip to Biloxi. Good for you, sir. We've got an air quality warning starting tomorrow for at least 2 days. And somebody's burning stuff with plastic in it. Sorry to hear that, B-Dub. I wanted to get, so the biggest labor part of it was actually breaking up that concrete that was the front, the underlayment for the front deck before. And I can't do it anymore. I fat, out of shape. Somebody's going to say it. I might as well. But also, the Parkinson's doesn't let me really hold on to things very well anymore. So it's getting to that point where I know being able to do this stuff is going to be very limited for me. So getting that broken up was the biggest thing, and we had to do it today. Like, that was the only day that I allotted for it, because this is the only day that's going to be under 95 degrees. And I'm like, the deck, I can build a deck realistically in a morning. The guys that take 3 or 4 days, they're getting paid by the hour. Don't trust them. I don't get paid by the hour. I just get paid to get the damn job done. So that's exactly what we do. We get the damn job done. But what we're going to do is it's broken up. So we did get it done today. It's always fun wearing a mask when you leave the house. Yeah, I hear you, B-Dub. I'm sorry you're going through that. Where did you get all your wood from? So we've got a lumber yard here in town. An actual lumber yard. I don't mean attached to a big box. It's an actual lumber yard. And because none of the wood is being used for structure, none of the top layers or the sides or whatever are going to be used for structure. I got all the wood from them, and then I got all the structural wood from a little lumber place that we have here in town as well. So 2 trips. But we're going to be using some very thick. I'm going to sound important now. Excuse me, but I went out and bought cedar. Yes, cedar wood to redo the entire top layer of my deck. And it is all green wood, so it'll be very quick, very easy. And over time, because I did buy it green, I'll have to apply oils and whatnot in order to keep it looking good, but it will be a hardwood deck as opposed to going with composite, because I don't like the look of composite. That's just a personal preference. Good wood is hard to find. Spoken as a woodworker. Man, if you've got a mill in your area, you got it set. Jeremy, what's up? Everything happens in threes. Pressure tank sprung a leak, shower valve leaked, and hot water heater is leaking, so shouldn't have to do plumbing for a while. God bless you, Jeremy. I'm sorry to hear you're going through that, but it sounds like you got a handle on everything. Side note, saw a review on the rigid track saw. It looks nice. Review done by 731 Woodworks. Yeah, I think he's done 2 or 3 on it, and it does look good. You're lucky to have a lumberyard too. I can't find one near Branson. Not really sure how to look for one in reality. So I found mine through Google. I looked up wood mill in my area or near me or whatever it was, and then come to find out we had one probably 10 or 15 minutes from the house. So not bad at all. They don't deliver, but the other lumber company will pick up from them and deliver for you. Kind of nice. So anyway, Cooch is off at church camp. It's done now. I missed lives lately. It's all good, Jeremy. We appreciate you being here. But Cooch is off. He's doing godly stuff. I don't know what he's doing. Tango Lumber, Rodney, in Branson. Look at that. Joshua Wilson coming through. We just have Tango. My bad. We just have the best community members. Folks looking out for each other. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that, for your help, Joshua. Church camp, yes. He's going to find Jeebus. I went to church camp. I found Jesus. He went to find Jeebus. I hope he gets that right. Is Cooch going to be back on Tuesday? He told me he's going to be about 5 to 10 minutes late for tonight, and he's 20 minutes late. So I can't tell you. He's like, I'm going to try to get in there. I'll be 5 to 10 minutes, but yeah, whatever. Oh, the other thing that I've noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but a lot of homeowners, they're not equipped to handle a major renovation in their house. Even though, and I can't tell you how many times I know people, they start a project and then they realize they're in over their head, like way over their head. And then they have to call a contractor out to take care of things that they messed up. You know, like it might not occur to them to look for electric line in a wall that doesn't have an outlet on it. It may not occur to them to look for a water line behind the wall. And I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them. And they end up having bigger issues. So Cooch is right on schedule. And the thing is, like, we're tool guys, so we're all kind of familiar with tools and how they work and what to do with them and whatnot. But I could tell you from reading the comment section, a lot of the guys that say they're tool guys have no reason to touch a tool. They don't know what they're doing, and they're just gonna end up screwing something up. People are fish out of water when it comes to this stuff. It's true. If I hadn't done construction when I was younger, if I hadn't done solar when I got older, more mature, whatever, all of this stuff I would have left to somebody else. But I know what I'm doing, and none of it's intimidating to me. And I think that's the good rule of thumb. If you look at a project and you're like, where do I start? With the phone. That's how you start. Pick up that phone, get somebody else in there, and let them take care of it. Otherwise, you're just inviting a massacre to your pocketbook. Looking forward to getting the rigid track saw. Probably don't need it. I don't know that I'm going to get it. Do you remind Cooch to wear the watch correct way? Maybe it's upside down. He's here. What's up, old and fugly?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm living the dream. You're out walking.
Yeah, we're at vacation.
Hey, it's Danny. Oh my goodness, Danny's in the house.
We're here in Scottsville, Texas, on a church retreat.
Yeah.
See, all dressed up.
It looks good, man. That nice, very nice, very open. I'm like that.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Except that every room has an environmental hazard in there, so I can't breathe, and I feel like I'm dying constantly. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. What's up, John? How you doing tonight? Working on a rusty car, says Denny. Denny, we're just glad to have you here. Hadn't seen you or heard from you in a long time. I've reached out to Beard a number of times, but I think everybody fell off. So how are you enjoying your getaway?
Pretty good so far. How's your renovation going?
Yeah, I was just about to get into that. So, hey, Texas Southpaw, glad to have you here. My wife asked me a question from social media. If an emergency happens as a man, do you think you can land a commercial plane? Supposedly all men answer yes. Look, a crash is a landing.
Yeah, but if you crash on the border, where do you bury the survivors?
Away. She didn't ask if you could walk away. She just said, could you land it? Yeah. Straight into the side of a cliff. Texas feel right at home at camp. Looks like a health walk. So my renovation is going like this. I was just telling about the nightmare, the concrete slab that we had under there that nobody knew about. So ended up having my son, thank God I bailed him out when I did, having my son come over and smash up and it's 8 inches thick, but it was added an incline going into the side of the house, which you definitely got to break that up. You got to get rid of that or it's going to cause you issues. But he was over here today and he worked for a couple of hours to break it up, which is a great, that's more than I expected. And then I told him he's going to help me Tuesday replacing a wall. But the renovation's going well. We're actually ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So
if there is a schedule.
Oh, there's always a schedule. If you're working with me, there's a schedule. As a matter of, my son worked construction and he worked plumbing. So he did a twofer trying to get into trades. And he was like, how do you build a deck? I'm like, well, that's not even a hard question. So I'm telling him how we're going to attach how we're going to attach a plank to the fascia of the house anchor it with some tap cons to make sure that it bites, then dig holes around, fill with concrete, place 4x4s in concrete to make sure that everything is square and level. And he looks better blurry. I'm just going to say it now. Anyway, make it square and level, then build the ribbing and the framing and go for it. Like, I'm walking him through the whole process while we're standing there. And he's like, what? Turn your light on. Oh, you want this light on? All right, I got you.
Might be talking to me.
No, he said me.
There you go, John. Am I blurry right now?
No, you're clear now.
Okay. How's the audio?
It's great.
Doesn't sound like a window AC.
No.
Oh, amazing.
Aloha. Just caught up. Sweet. Well, we're glad to have you here, George, as always. What's up, B. Doug? Good for him to learn what work is. Yes. I was, and I'll tell you this, the best part about having him do it.
What's up, Joshua?
Was that he did it. Like, he stayed up here. He did the work. His first instinct was, he told me, he's like, I'm going to go sell a TV to get money or whatever and do all this stuff. And he's like, I'll bring a buddy back. I'm like, sure you will. And then I took my old broken, damn near crippled. I'm not like, unfortunately, because of the car accidents and whatnot that I've been in, my back is pretty well fuckered. I mean, that's what happens when you get hit by a car twice and you're not.
Better do it every time.
So, like, I've got serious things going on with my back that I've had for years, which is actually why I sit in a wheelchair when I'm doing this. If you guys didn't know, I sit in a wheelchair to do these live streams. And there are days when I need a wheelchair to get around. It's just, I lose feeling in my legs and then I can't stand. So kudos to me. Anyway, but he tells me this. He's like, I'm going to go get a buddy. I'm going to be back in half an hour. Well, Cooch was on the phone with me when he told me he was taking a half an hour break after working for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He was working for 15 minutes and then he's like, I'm going to take a break. And an hour after his half an hour break, I go over to where he's staying and I'm like, your watch broken? Like, kind of thing. I'm like, your half an hour break was over an hour ago, sir. And then it took him another hour to get to the house, which is 0.2 of a mile away from where he's staying. And I was just like, oh, Christ. Give me strike.
Completely justifiable for the average millennial.
Yeah. But when he told me he's going to go get a buddy, I'm like, do whatever you need to do. Screw it. Do whatever you need to do. I'm going to go out there and do work. And he gets to his car. Take it easy, Denny. He gets to his car and I pick up the sledgehammer. And when I hit something, you feel it. Even if you ain't getting hit.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the reverb off of my neighbor's house, which 1/4 mile. I'm listening to the reverb come back. So I'm hitting hard. And concrete chunks are just flying. I'm putting holes in the shape of the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
3 inches of concrete. And I'm just smacking her down. So because I'm fat, I can put weight behind it. It's not because I'm strong. But I can put some oomph to it. So he lets me do this. And then I ended up getting the sledgehammer caught below the concrete structure that's there. And I start getting pissed at it as a guy you will. I start getting pissed at it. And I grab a freaking 20-ounce hammer and start smacking the concrete to get the sledgehammer out. And that's when he decided to walk. He was just watching me from the car. And that's when he decided to walk out and tell me that I don't need to do any of that stuff, that he'd take care of it. And to his credit, he did.
Oh, wow.
So I'm amazed and surprised. I made a point. You know, the thing is with me, a lot of folks get the idea that I am the negative guy.
No, where did they get that from?
Probably because they talk to me. But they come off as I'm the negative guy. But I'm the guy that, like, I hold myself to a very high standard. I expect other people to. But what's up, South Florida Tools? But when he comes in and he's like, I'll handle this, and then he stayed out there to get the job done and do the work, I made a point of going out there and telling him he did a great job, that I was proud of him, and that I can't believe what he had been able to accomplish. I was right there to tell him that stuff.
Nice.
Whether he remembers or not, you never know. But I was there to tell him. So I make sure to recognize, like, when somebody works hard, you've got to recognize it and you got to thank them.
Yeah.
And I got both ends of this today. So when somebody is we used to call it dogging it on the job site. And in basketball was the same term. Dogging it means they're not really working hard. They're looking to do something else or whatever.
Right.
You know, so when somebody's doing that, you call them on it. And you'd be like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So I got both ends of the spectrum, and I have to say I'm much happier that he stayed to do the work.
No, it's good.
Call it a win. My kid is a professional gamer. Well, way to go, Lee. I could have. I tried to go pro doing something on the internet, but they told me that I'm not a female and no one would watch me do that. Ping pong balls galore. I'm just saying. Now we have YouTube University. If you have 2 brain cells and little common sense, not too hard to figure stuff out for the most part. But the things that YouTube doesn't show, just like when the second that I see a concrete slab underneath my deck was completely enclosed, by the way. The minute I saw a concrete slab under my deck and that it was leaning, I was like, oh, foundation issues. Got to take care of this. Got to break this up right now so it doesn't get to be a bigger problem. Now, could have probably lasted another 20 years without causing me a problem.
Right.
Who the hell wants to wait 20? What's that?
Right. You don't want to build over that, or, you know.
No, because then you're just going to end up doing the work again.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do that. How many of us have the money to do that over and over and over again, instead of just getting it done the right way or doing it right the right way the first time? Who the hell wants to go through and redo it 3 and 4 times?
Well, we might have YouTube University, but I watched somebody last night put PL underneath of a 3/4 inch. The floor was, did you see that one? It was 7/8 thick was the floor.
No.
Here, let me show you a hack. And he puts PL and then he puts a 3/4 down and pushes it to where it stays just level with the other boards. And it's like, why would you show that on YouTube? It's like, PL is good stuff, man. But I mean, you're going to be doing that again pretty soon.
Full time, so he's been helping us, just teaching him to use his. Good for you, Jeremy. More kids need. You know what? When there was this is probably because I grew up poor. But when there was a project to be done around the house, every single member of the family was out there doing it. They were out there doing work.
So it
And if
wasn't
you
my
didn't know
household.
what you were doing, you waited for dad to smack you upside the back of the head and tell you what to do.
Maybe. Sounds like maybe your household. Sorry.
You mean to tell me your dad didn't smack you upside the back of your head?
No, I was missing out on smacks upside the backside of my head.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you missed out. If you come here, I'll be glad to give you one.
Right on.
I remember the point where I went from my father fixing things and buying the tools, and now it's me. It's a strange transition to go through. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jake. Except I'm on the other end of it. I'm now to the point where physically, even doing some of the demos and whatnot. Why I've had to shorten to go to the 1 minute style format for some of these tool demos is because physically, I'm having a harder time controlling my hands because they've begun to shake a lot.
Oh, yeah. And you
And
get made fun of for it too.
yeah,
Don't forget that. They're making fun of your
they do. Well, I can't figure out if they're checking me out. Like if these guys are coming to my channel to check me out because they want to mention my weight or my hair or whatever, or if they really just don't know anything about tools, and when somebody shows them, they've got to let me know that they're a little Pollyanna princess or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you wearing a white helmet during the? No. I wear a hat. As a matter of fact, I'll probably wear a green tech hat every time I do it.
Yep.
Pizza rolls are the real winner. Yep. Wanting for mom to bring my pizza roll. Scream at her, Jeremy. Nothing wrong with a bunch of glue in there. I've worked on countless projects with my father-in-law where all of his kids, 5 girls, were outside doing something, cleaning concrete, moving blocks, whatever. It was mandatory. 100%. It is.
The worst part about the whole thing was he could just put like a 2x6 and scissor it up next to the 2x or whatever was on supporting the floor initially. He had the height. He could just put another piece of lumber next to the other and keep trucking. But now he's squirting glue in there.
Yeah.
And then it's like telling everyone like this is what you can do instead of doing that. It's like I don't know, man. The University YouTube might not be a good thing.
No, it's definitely not. YouTube has created more instant experts on stuff.
That's actually why I prefer to do my stuff live. I'd rather you see me fail and you know what not to do, or you can see something succeed and know that it was, not fabricated. So,
yeah. East Coast Ken is in the house. East Coast Ken, he has a YouTube channel here on YouTube called East Coast Ken. He used to be L&R Rides. So just remember that former Marine, good dude. We support him every chance we get. By all means, make sure you go check out his channel, subscribe if you like it, and support him any way you can if you haven't already. Your grips on the drills is better than what I've seen. You don't hold it like a purse like my dad said. No. Grip strength is definitely not a problem with me. If you watch the videos, there was one in particular where it was very difficult for me that particular day to hold anything. But if you watch, you'll notice like I can't line up the drill right away. I got to fumble around for a minute, but that's part of it. Like I'm trying to show that is part of what I go through and have to deal with. And people are just, they're the instant expert. Like I said before, instant experts on everything. They know exactly what's going on with you. They think that because your hands shake that you somehow don't have knowledge in your head. And I'm just like, well, I do have Alzheimer's. There's a chance I forgot about this stuff. But if you ask me how to do something, I'm pretty sure I can walk you through anything. I even know how to build a bridge. Like, it's just the strangest thing. Is it like, I don't get it. Oh my God, I just told my daughter the same about TikTok. We installed a guy's above ground pool, and I told him the stupid 12 by 12 pavers would crack under the legs. 100% accurate. He said, but TikTok shows it works.
Well, you can't argue with those results.
Look, how hard is it to put a bag of Quickcrete down and spray it, and then spray it again before morning if you're grassing, or every couple of hours if you're not getting any moisture in the ground? You know, that's it. That's all you got to do. Leave it cure for about 24 to 48 hours. You're done.
Yeah.
I would do that long before I would do, what did he say? 12 by 12 pavers.
What's the audio like on this thing?
It's good.
Nice.
2 days later, they broke. I said, I told you so. Like us kids that dug out the earth to get in plumbing. I was small and could get things started for the older kids. Yeah. By when we bought the house that my brother lives in Ripley, New York, has a well in it. When we got to it, or when we bought it, and this is 90 something, 91, 92, whatever it was. And we needed to run a brand new filter line from the bottom of the well up, believe it or not, at 6'6" and 180 pounds. I was the thinnest one in the house. And they hung me by my feet with a 2x4 tied to my shoes to get me down in that well to replace that entire line. The line itself, where it splintered off, you have to go below the freeze line in New York. So it's 6 feet down.
Nice.
And then you've got the top of your well, which is about another 2 feet above the ground.
Right.
So even 6'6", I was fully inside of the round casing. It was a plastic. I don't remember what it's called, but it was a plastic kind of tube that they had used to line the well with.
The well, yeah.
And I was down there hanging upside down, fiddling with a no headlamp. I had to have the flashlight in my mouth, shining it up while I'm trying to feel for where the 1/4 nut is, or for the clamp. And I had to use a flathead screwdriver because we didn't have a 1/4 nut driver.
Oh, on the hose clamp, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Ryobi guys. This is not your month, says Shaka Gillis with the $2 super chat. Well, thank you very much, Shaka.
What's up, Shaka?
I'm trying to get my son out of wanting to get a pat on the back for trying. Yes. To be proud of following the steps he was told to do and accomplishing a task. Yeah, the pat on the back comes later. It's never like up front, at least for me. If you're going to try to learn from YouTube, watch several videos on the same thing, then take what seems to be the best of all the videos to help you decide what to do. That's what I used books before. I still use books. Like I'm a big believer in books. I love them. Growing up poor. Yes, sir. Growing up poor, carports and such get built when the family come together. No one pays to have stuff built. The men of the family come together and built it. Yeah, I can't tell you. We build sheds. I was telling Cooch this when I was young. We had one It was like a fifth wheel trailer that my brother, my sister, or no, two of my brothers, my sister, and myself lived in. Then we built a shed for my parents to live in. That same, because this is how poor we were, that same place, we had another 6 people at one time kind of live with us. So my aunt, my uncle, 2 of her kids, and then 2 of their kids. So we had 6 extra people living in that, and we put a total of 8 people in that shed, heated with a space heater. That's poor.
Yeah.
That's how
Sounds
poor
warm though.
Yeah, a bunch of fat people were there. I grew up poor, learned how, because you couldn't afford to pay someone else to do it 100% correct. You guys seem to have stopped talking over there. Am I just being too wordy? What about you? What are your renovation nightmares?
Oh, let me try to think of something. That didn't go good.
Okay. I can
I
think
gotta
of
think.
something.
Well, I haven't really renovated it though. I mean, the guy sized the AC unit the wrong size, but I paid a professional to do that, so that kind of sucks. And now instead of being able to pull the moisture out of the air, it short cycles, so it never actually pulls the moisture out of the air, and creates a bad environment for air.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what my problem is. I think my problem is that the ducts just got dirty because didn't change the air filter for a long time.
Yeah.
And then the evaporator got messed up, and the return air needs to be replaced. Ultimately.
Nice.
Yeah. But as far as renovations,
Hey, Howie.
I pulled a 12-2 to a smoke detector. That's terrible. Then I had to use a Fat Max tape measure to fish through the attic that I had already closed up from one side to the other.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
I would love to tell you that I'm shocked right now.
Yeah.
Jamie wants to name something that did go well. Actually,
That did go well?
That did go well.
The renovation that we just did went pretty well as far as the insulation and foam. And that thing's like an igloo now, man. I don't regret spray foaming those walls at all. That sealed up everything. The issue was the return air that was still in there.
Well, I consider myself very fortunate in that every time I've had a project to do, I had the knowledge to do the project.
Yeah.
So most of mine go off fairly well. Like I rarely ever run into an issue, and other than me trying to do way too much than one person should be doing.
I know something. All right, so my whole deal was I would rather pay somebody to do it and I watch.
Yes.
Like my neighbor was a kind of a shade tree mechanic. He ended up getting all of his certs later and working for Firestone.
Yeah.
But before that, he had like project cars and he was just learning himself. And he showed me how to do spark plugs. And keep in mind, I didn't really have a dad. So, I mean, I did have a dad, but, didn't really raise me. Grandma raised me.
Yeah.
And so he, I paid him to do certain things and then he would kind of show me how to do it. And I had a neighbor that was a general contractor, and he knew a little bit about everything, especially framing and all that stuff. And I was moving the toilet over, and he showed me how to bust into the slab, and you drill multiple half-inch holes, and then you get the rock bar, and when I say multiple, I mean like 60 half-inch holes in like a grid-shaped pattern, and then you get that rock bar, and you start smashing up your 8-inch slab. And then you take a vacuum, because the soil underneath your house should not be wet, and you just vacuum up the fine dirt. You know what I mean? With the giant husky, because it's faster than trying to dig. And long story short, I decided that I was also going to relocate my shower drain, which wasn't really part of the plan. We were just going to keep it closer to the wall and kind of wing it. And I was like, no, I think I want to move it a little further away from the wall, because it used to be a bathtub, so we moved it over. And I didn't include that part in my permit. Now, this is long before I was an inspector. And I was kind of doing it myself. So I channeled it all out and ran it to where it was going. I took a picture of it, and I went to work, and I showed one of the plumbers on the job site, because you got multiple trades at the job site. And I showed the plumber the picture, and he just starts laughing. I was like, what? He was like, where's your P-trap? And I was like, oh, crap, you're right. I need a P-trap. So I go to Ace, I buy the P-trap. And luckily, I'd poured the concrete already, of course, right?
Of course.
So this really whole inspection thing comes in. Get an inspection, do it right once, before you cover it up. So anyway, go to Ace, get the P-trap, dig up this somewhat soft concrete, because I just poured it that night, and it was like the next afternoon, so it wasn't like rock hard, Chipped up pretty quickly. And I'm cleaning up after I've done the repair, and I find the P-trap while I'm cleaning up. I just poured the concrete again. So I had taken a picture before I poured the concrete. So I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm like, please tell me I installed the P-trap. Did I just cut the straight section of pipe out and literally just put a coupling in the middle of it? Like, just do the repair on what I cut out? And I'm looking at the picture, and it's the same picture, except it's got a coupling in it instead of just a straight piece of pipe. And that was pretty funny. But yeah.
Don't worry, we've all seen you work.
So that was a failed renovation, I guess, but failed before it became an actual problem.
I'll tell you, for whatever reason, I cannot do tile floor.
Oh, really?
I just can't. Can't wrap my mind around it. I don't do it. So I hate that, and that's probably it. I hate being down on my knees. I know it's more natural for you. I hate being down on my knees. I hate doing all the grout and all that garbage. It's not fun for me.
Yeah.
Building building a wall, a solar array, a deck. Heck, I'm going to be making a miniaturized, and by miniaturized I mean about 4 feet tall, Christmas village for my front yard. That
out of plywood.
Well, it's funny. It's actually going to be built to spec. So I'm going to be 16 on centers all the way around, and I'm going to be doing king studs and the whole nine. Because this stuff, I'm like, even if I'm not here, somebody could use it. And not as like a dog house, but as a display. So I'm going to build it right. So, but I hate to do tile flooring. I fuck it. If I can get out of it, I will. If I don't have to do it, I will. I'd rather put rubber mats down than to deal with any kind of tile work. It's like I'm old, I'm fat, I have a lot of problems going on, and it's getting to the point where it's too difficult.
Yeah. Bigger rooms, I can see that, but just little small bathrooms or something. Probably take that on without too much preparation, you know?
Yeah.
You can almost wing the smaller rooms. But you're doing a bigger one, yeah, you definitely want to, because you don't want little strips along your edge of your walls, you know?
No.
You want to get it all measured out pretty well.
That's true, Rodney. You are older, fatter, and shorter. We're not even going to talk about dumber. I'm planning on ripping up the engineered hardwood from my living room and putting down tile. Can't stand carpet, and expensive engineered hardwood don't hold up.
Get the vinyl wood floor, looking wood floor.
I'm telling you now, Joe the Tool Guy showed an awesome project on one of his renos where it's just lay it down. I'm like, finally, a product I can stand behind.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to ask him what it was. I might order it just to.
That no doubt that thing is gonna be expensive. That vinyl, that vinyl, I don't know what you call it. Hardwood looking stuff is pretty awesome.
George, I haven't done a push-up since people stopped paying me to play sports. Why would I? But yes, it's I mean, every time I think of doing like renovation projects or whatnot, I get excited. I'm like, I love doing this stuff. And then it starts and I'm like, oh God, I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm currently starting a build in the Front Range here in Boulder County next to NCAR of a large retention wall. Gonna take me months. Oh, God bless you.
Mm.
Well, I'm fortunate in that, you know, even though I may not physically be able to do it, I've got a son that I can pass the knowledge on to and make him do it.
There you go.
Even if it's like pulling teeth. I go
Well,
with.
it's cool that he did that for you today.
Yeah, it is. I go with rope on my ankle. It's soap on a rope, though. That's what he's doing. He's walking in the shower bent over. Gangland style, or prison style, I guess. Richard Hosey says planks. I have a bunch of ceramic tile in my garage. It's supposed to be for both bathrooms and kitchen, but the hardwood is wore down to plywood in my living room. Oof. By the way, tactics, my flight Wednesday gets to Dallas at 8:30 in the a.m.
Oh, dude, that's going to be a problem.
Dope on a rope.
8:30 is going to be a huge problem. Is that this Wednesday or next Wednesday?
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
The National Center for Atmospheric Research.
Yeah, dude. We have a meeting until 8 in the office. Usually we're out of the office by 7:30.
It's all right. I'll tell Rodney the truth when we're off camera that you don't like him and you think he smells and looks funny. He looks like
later.
He looks like a pale Oompa Loompa.
We've seen him on camera. He doesn't look that bad.
Nah, he's a good guy. I like Rodney. I like making fun of him.
Yeah, if it was afternoon, man, that'd have been cool. We could have caught lunch or something. But 8:30 is I don't think that's doable.
Well, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're 1 hour in.
Yeah, right at.
Let them, when someone wants to blow you off, let them, Rod, man.
Huh.
I do make fun of everybody. That's my charm. But guys, I hate to tell you this. Wait, hold on. I grabbed the M12 installation driver, returned the battery from $142 at Home Depot. That's a great price for that. That's a great tool. M12 installation drivers.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So with a number 5 hammer when you need to start over. Yeah, I grabbed it. Hey, I was amazed I was still able to swing a 16-pound sledge today.
60.
16, sir.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't go out of like thick concrete with what, like a 4. You go all the way. You want it to hurt when you hit it.
Yeah.
Guys, since it is Sunday and we all have better things to do than look at the two of us, I gotta say, for all you Makita guys out there, don't forget, blow them like you know them.
We'll see you later.